And then there is the inimitable Jean-Paul Gaultier, and one of his iconic looks from the now famous Barbet collection. He showed it at the Cirque d'Hiver, the Winter Circus. It's a wonderful old theater in the Round that I've been to many times over the years. But because it is in the Round, you never know how a designer is going to stage a show. So there's a certain terror factor with going to the Cirque d'Hiver. But even Gaultier was part of the tents in the Louvre for his early shows. And here in '83, he did a show based on the trench coat as a riff on Private Detectives, with footprints running down the center of the runway. The trench remains one of Gaultier's signature pieces and is a staple in his collections. His Wardrobe for Two collection addressed gender issues, a recurring theme in much of his work. This show stressed the interchangeability of dress between the sexes. He proposed skirts for men. And in another show held at the Cirque d'Hiver, he installed verdigris lampposts to give the feel of Belle Epoque Paris. It's his Fall '85 collection known as the uptight charm of the bourgeoisie. Gaultier's never relied on elaborate scenery for his shows, but there was always some little touch that set the mood, and often with a bit of humor. He borrowed turn-of-the-century details like ball fringe, velvet trim, and elaborate quilting, and applied it to modern shapes. Accessories included elaborate Art Nouveau-style jewelry. That verdigris color, like oxidized copper, was very big in interiors at the time. So even as it referenced the past, it was totally in tune with the present. Gaultier also played with the hourglass figure by artfully constructing padding at the hips. This was at another of his favored show spots, a music and science discovery park on the north side of Paris called Parc de la Villette. In spite of the inconvenient location, the late hour or whatever, his show was not to be missed, even if you didn't have an invitation. And his show, the photographers were given laminated badges, and they were different every year. And early on, one of the photographers took the initiative because the ticket, there was a PR at Gaultier who was kind of a terror, a real control freak. And it was hard to get invitations, so this photographer took orders and produced bootleg versions of the invitation. Most famously, corsetry and undergarments are an ongoing theme that continues to fascinate Gaultier and recur as a hallmark of his style. It was, of course, Gaultier who provided Madonna with her now iconic corset for her Blonde Ambition tour in 1990. Another of his famous fashion followers, and we lost it. Hang on, let's see. Interesting, I didn't look at this. Hang on. We can't see her. She's cut out of the picture. We went through these things and she's not here. She's there in the corner. I can see her on my screen, but it's just a profile. You'll have to take my word for it. It's Catherine Deneuve. That would be like having Marilyn Monroe in your front row in New York. And she was being mobbed by photographers. But there's something skewed about the screen, so I hope you're seeing all these images. I wasn't looking up there to see. No, I know she's down there. Anyway, no worries.